Welcome to Fit for Life. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to be moving. We're going to get nice and healthy, get our blood circulating, prepare for the holidays. Those days are coming. They're almost here. So let's see how much exercise we can get in because people do get busy, but you don't want to neglect your exercise. You may not be doing as much, but try to do as much as you can. And today we're going to deal with the third, what I call the third basic fitness component, and that is cardiovascular disease or aerobic. So just keep that in mind. We need to do our walking, not just strength training. We need to do our running in place, our dancing, getting that heart rate up. It's good for our lungs and our heart both. We need to maintain our mobility, and we could do that by jumping around, and we're going to do that today. Cardiovascular exercise, it lowers your risk of falling, which is really important to us. I think so. That's the one thing that I would dread. I would not want to happen, so we're going to do as much as we can about that. It keeps your mind sharp because you're getting the blood up to your brain. And as we age, we have a little trouble with short-term memory. So that's why we want to keep that cardiovascular or aerobic exercise going. And you don't always have to go outside and walk. I mean, do that as much as you can, but we're going to do some things just standing up and in place that will get that heart rate up a little bit. Cardio also improves your mood, so it reduces your depression if you've got some things on your mind that keep coming back. This will help you to get rid of those, at least for a while. And it's, again, strengthens your heart and your lungs. So before we get up, we're going to do some seated morning exercises, and we've done them before, but you need to be reminded, if you want to get a pencil and paper and write some of these down, I do about 15 of these in bed after I wake up. So my eyes are usually still closed, so you kind of feel like you're sleeping, but you're not. So I'm going to slide forward in the chair, but just kind of pretend that you're lying down. If you have a bed nearby, you could do that, and if you could still hear me. But if you're seated, again, sliding forward. First thing, couldn't be easier. We're just going to move our feet back and forth again to get that blood circulating. It feels good. It feels as though your feet and your ankles, your lower leg are loosening up, getting ready to stand up and do some further exercise. So we do this, I do this maybe 30 times, and it goes fast because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So do about 30 of those. Or if you forget, you do some extra, that's not going to hurt you. The next one I do is circling the foot. So we'll maintain that ankle flexibility. And again, that feels good. Do 8 of them. We probably won't do 8 of everything, because we have other things to do today. And then I do the other foot. Now, if you want, you can do the 2 together. See, easy enough. And yes, a lot of this you could still do in a chair. And then another one that I do, and this is for the lower leg and the foot and the ankle. You're going to point and stretch. Now remember, your legs are on the mattress, so it's going to be even easier to do this. But we're just stretching, getting the muscles ready, getting them warmed up. So that's a stretch, a point and stretch, point and stretch. If you want, you can lift your legs up to do it, but you don't need to for this particular exercise. All right, good. Now the next exercise I do, again, your leg is straight on the mattress. I just bounce the leg, 2 and 3. Now when you're lying down, that leg is going to go up much higher. And maybe you've tried some of these before. Do what you can. Do what you remember. You might be doing some that I'm not doing. But the ones that I'm doing are pretty standard and good for you and easy to do because you're lying down. So let's straighten the other leg. If you want, you can flex that toe back and bounce the other leg by doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. I like to do a lot of these. Let's do a few extra on these. Easy enough, isn't it? Very easy. I'm going to slide down a little bit more. What I will do is put my foot on the mattress. The knee is bent, And you can hold either underneath the leg or in front of the knee and just pull that leg right in. And your lower back is going to feel better. Unless there's some strange reason why you shouldn't do this, most people can. So you're pulling that leg or pulling the knee toward your chest. And then you can bring your head up if you want, or just leave it down and just tuck your chin in a little bit. So this one is kind of easy, and it feels good, and it's very beneficial. And I don't have back problems as long as I keep doing it. I try to do it every day. All right, then holding underneath the leg and just lifting your leg up. We're not bouncing it this time. Lift it up. These are easier to do lying down. I hope you're writing some of this down. Very standard exercises. I'm going to reach underneath, pull that leg in. Let's drop the chin forward while we're seated here in the chair and get a nice stretch in the back of the neck. All right, and pull it in for as long as you can. Wonderful. And then we'll put that leg down. Now, when you're lying down, this is something you can do lying down that would be difficult to do in the chair. Just bring both legs up and see if you can keep those legs up. You can if you hold underneath. Get those legs as straight up as you can get them, and try to do that for at least a minute the first time. If that is uncomfortable, or if you're feeling funny, but that really gets that blood right up to the brain. It's very good for circulation, and that's something we have to think about with aging, don't we? Yes, we do. All right, now another exercise I do is bend the knee and just drop it to the side and then cross it over a little bit. So let's do a little bit of that in the chair. That's for the hip. We'll say 4 and 5, and do about 8 of them, or 10, whatever you can do. So if you want, this leg could be straight also, but I think it's easier with the knee bent, and then just drop over. Good. And I'll give you a little variation of that in a minute. And let's try for 5 and 6, and you're tightening your abdomen when you do that too. Again, for the lower back and the hip, something similar to that one. You can cross the leg over like this and pull your leg down. So this is a little bit more ambitious. Pay attention to how it feels, but it's a great stretch for this area of the body, the hip area, the glutes, your back, your lower back, the lumbar area. And just hold it as long as you can. And of course, if you're having trouble with your hip, or you've had hip surgery, you wouldn't do this. But you would know what to do, because you would have physical therapy after, wouldn't you? Try the other side. So I'm just crossing over, but it helps to really stretch out that lower back and hip. This is a good one, and it feels pretty good too. Wonderful. Okay, I think that's enough of our morning exercises. I do a few more later on, but we're not going to do that. I will tell you that I end this exercise group with the bridge, the yoga bridge. So again, you're lying flat and you just lift your bottom up and get it up there as high as you can and hold it. And that too will strengthen your back, and especially your quadriceps, which you need for what? For falls prevention, right? Okay, grab your water if you have it. And if you don't have it, I'll give you a minute to run and get some. Cheers. So yes, we can drink during exercise too. And when we get up to stand and do some in-place aerobic exercise, we're not going to hold on, right? You're just going to stand up. You're going to get used to doing that, hopefully, especially when you're watching television. Unless you've got a really soft sofa, you should get up and stretch a little bit. So let's just march in place. I mean, what could be easier than that? I'm pretty sure all of you can do this. Just marching in place. Good. And then you're going to do just a nice, easy jog. Doesn't that feel good? Again, just to get that heart rate up a little bit. So we're still doing aerobic exercise. I saw something once where they said that we should do a minute of this a day, just kind of jogging in place. Now, again, you can go a little faster or pick your feet up a little bit more. Try to do this for 10 seconds, then 30, and then a minute. And it's a nice little workout, and you're not going anywhere, right? Another slightly aerobic exercise would be to kick out, just kicking out. 3 and 4 and 5. Good, keep going. 7 and 8, and then kick to the back. 1 and 2. Good, and 3 and 4. So that's easy. If you need to hold on, you can. You can hold on like this, or get behind your chair to do most of these things. Another exercise is kind of like walking. You're going to step forward and then back and forward. Just get you feeling alive and awake. Good for you. So it's step forward, step back. This leg stays right where it is. My heel just happens to come up when I go back and forth. Keep going. Let's do a couple more of these. Yes, let's try the other leg. It should be the same, no problem. Forward and back. You can move your arms as if you're walking. Your arms are in opposition to your legs. That's just the way we move naturally. So it's front and back. Watch your posture. Try not to hunch over. Try to stay as straight as possible. Good. And front and back. Keep going. Great. Now just lift the knee up and cross over, touch, touch. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 again. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Really try to remember that jogging in place. And you can start really, really slow. Just lifting your heels up if you want, like that, still moving, or a little bit of a jog or a run in place. So if you don't do aerobics, you don't get out to walk, start here. Just see how you feel. You might be a little out of breath when you first start. If it's extreme, you might want to talk to your doctor about it. And while I'm talking to you, I'm doing my little elbow back thing. And we do this when we do our aerobics to music. We will end with kind of a full body stretch. And I think this is slightly aerobic too. You're just going to bring those arms up and back and up. So if you do them continuously, that will also get the heart rate up. Good. Clear out the cobwebs in your brain, in your body. Back. How do your knees feel when you do this? If they're terribly uncomfortable, then you might just want to check with your doctor on that. Grab some water again. We've been moving around. You might be a little bit thirsty. Now, because we've warmed up the muscles, we're going to do some stretching, full body stretches. But as we age, the skin dries, your eyes dry a little bit, your fingernails and so forth. So we want to stay lubricated if we can. So we might need a little more water, even if you're not thirsty, because by the time you're real thirsty, it could be dangerous. You could be dehydrated and you don't want to take that fall. One of the symptoms of being dehydrated is getting a little dizzy, so people will sometimes take a fall that they don't have anything really wrong with them, but they're just drying out. So don't neglect your water. If you're not sure how much to take, ask your doctor about it, see what he says. Okay, so we're going to do some upper body stretching first. Well, it's going to be upper and lower. So let's come forward in the chair and just drop those arms right down. Now, how does your lower back feel when you do this? You can keep your head up if you have to. Great. Can you hold on to your ankles? Or maybe just touch your ankles? Either way. And you can touch the floor if you want to. Now you might say, gee, I can't quite touch. Come back up again. Let's take a breath up first, up through the nose. Don't forget your breathing. And when you exhale, watch. You will be able to touch. See, I can touch easily now. When I first did it, I was struggling a little. So with each breath and each stretch, you'll be able to go a little bit further. I mean, it's amazing, but it does work. It really does work. So you're also stretching out your spine. Try it again, and this time it'll be really easy to touch, holding onto the ankles if you want to. So this is spinal flexion, and if I said do spinal extension, what would you do? Yeah, we'd do the opposite. Reaching up, up, up. Grab that wrist if you can. Pull that arm right up. So already you're a little bit taller, but of course we don't stand like this all day, so we'll go back to our regular height when we're finished. So this is spinal extension. We've done it a million times, and we'll probably do it a million more because it's a really good exercise. I'm going to sit back again. And the next one we're going to do is spinal rotation. So let's take this hand, cross over, and just keep turning in that direction. Do you hear anything clicking in there? Do you hear any noises? Sometimes it happens. Probably 99% of the time, it's not a problem. Just see how you feel on this one. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Now stay here and then turn your head back, just your head in the opposite direction, and you'll get an even better stretch. This is a good one. Great. Hold and hold, and then relax. Now we're going to take another breath up through the nose. And when you exhale, you're going to turn, grab the arm of the chair, and just keep turning. I heard a little clicking that time on this side. It just makes me think maybe I'm realigning myself. And let's turn the head back. And now I can look at you this way. So you're getting a stretch from side to side, like. It's a good one. Hold yourself up nice and straight and tall. This is a great one. Another good stretch, and it's so easy. Just put your hands right here and do some circles. This brings your shoulder blades together. I'm going to move that. I have very long arms. Little circles. Easy, easy peasy, as they say. Good. And then just bring your elbows as far back as you can. You can touch the back of your neck. Bring the elbows back. Look up at the ceiling. It makes it a little bit easier when you look up. Wonderful. And now back, just nice and straight. We're going to do a little bit of a turn, just a little bit. So you're getting some aerobic exercise today. We're getting some stretching. Maybe a little bit of strength training in there. But we'll do that in the next class. All right, let's come back to center and just do a little drop to the side. And then to the other side. Now, the spine can also bend, and I think this one feels about the best. We'll take this hand, you're going to cross over, and let's breathe up through your nose, really reaching and bending, bending, bending. Wonderful. Oh, that feels so great. You're really realigning your body. And then we'll come back and switch, this time with the breath, breathing up. And exhale as you reach. So you're doing two things at one time. Well, actually three, because you're bending. Oh yeah, this is great. And then we'll come back up also. Try this with me. Move over to one side, a little closer to the arm of your chair. And if you want, you can hold on, whatever you want to do here. And just drop down. See if you can touch the floor here. Now, you don't have to touch the floor, but just trying it will give you a little stretch. Oh, I just barely did it. Let's come back up. Take a breath first, all the way up. Which is wonderful for us to do this, you know. And exhale as you bend. Keep exhaling, and watch. It'll be easier. My hand went down much easier this time. This is great for your side, the sides here, all the way up, your shoulders also. As we come up, you're going to breathe up through the nose, move over a little bit, and exhale as you drop down. Now this side is a little bit harder than the other, not much, just a speck. And then we'll come back up. Let's take another breath all the way up. And exhale, exhale. Make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. We learned that in our yoga. And we'll come back up. Now one more for the upper body. And this one is easy and it kind of feels good too. Just cross your arms. Hold on to your elbows and just pull your arms across. Doesn't that feel good? If you want, you can do this. People do this. I've seen them do this many times after running or just stretching for any reason. And boy, you can really get a good pull on that shoulder, but just be careful. If you've had bursitis or tendonitis, you'll really feel it. But if you're okay, then just pull that arm right across. Wonderful. Now we have to work on the lower body a little bit, lower body stretching. So how would we do that? Well, we've already done this. Let's do it again. You're going to pull that leg right in, good, and hold it. This time it should go a little bit closer to the body when you do it. Yeah. And then we'll put it down. And you can hold that as long as you want, actually. We're going to pull that leg right in. Wonderful. You're going to be in such good shape. And you're burning calories, you know that. Even though you're sitting down, you're still burning calories. Let's start at the bottom again. Point and stretch. So you know you're stretching the front of the lower leg, the shin area. And when you flex, your calf muscles, your ankles. So we'll do a few of these. Now sit with your back away from the chair and do it. And you'll be tightening your abdomen a little bit and strengthening there. Yeah, this is a good one. And while you're here, how about an under and over? And now do your arms with it also. So that feels pretty good all the way up. And this is where a little bit of strengthening comes in for the quads, as I said before. Wonderful. Okay. Try this with me. Cross over. And just pull that leg down like we did before. You can hold on here. So again, that's a good stretch, and it feels good. All right, and let's come back up and cross over. And yes, you would hold this much longer, and you would do it with the breath also. Great. And then we'll come back again. All right, now you're going to hold underneath the leg. We did this one before, but you're going to lift that leg. It'll go a little bit higher this time, because you're warmed up. So you're pulling that leg right up and drop down, and you can pull it in again if you want. And then we'll try the other side, just lifting that leg up so you're stretching the hamstring this time. You're going to flex the foot here too. You'll feel a better stretch in your calf muscle, and that's where we get cramping sometimes. We don't like cramping, do we? No, we don't. Try this with me also. Again, crossing over, but bring this leg over the leg under it right here that's bent already. You're going to feel this in the hip, hand inside the knee, and very gently push down. Now we're stretching, but we're also improving our posture on this one. And you won't be able to move it much. And if it hurts, don't do it. Take this hand down in here, so you have one hand under the leg, one hand over, about near the ankle somewhere, but your posture tends to go. So try to pull yourself up nice and tall. Doesn't that feel good? Oh yeah, we love this. If you can bring it in a little closer, that's fine. If not, it doesn't matter. And while you're here, you could probably do a little bit of that too. But it is a good stretch, especially for the hip. Okay, we'll put that leg down, put the other one up. This leg is a little bit stiffer on me. One side is going to be different than the other. not necessarily bad, just different. And very gently push down. It's a little more difficult on this side. Good. Sitting up straight. Now watch your posture. If your upper body muscles are strong, you will have better posture. It just happens naturally. But you still have to remember to kind of pull that chin right in. And this is the way you should look. Great. Wonderful. Okay. I'm going to reach down again on this side under. The hand is over the leg, one is under, and this is really good for posture, and it makes it easy to sit up nice and straight too. But of course we don't sit around like this all the time, and that's why we're doing it. Now we've got about a minute left, and all I want you to do now is grab some water. Again. Very refreshing. Sit back, and we're going to do nothing. Just going to sit back like that. Toes up. Let's take a breath together again, all the way up. You can close your eyes. Hold that breath and exhale. Make that exhalation nice and long today. And just stay here. I've got my arms around the arms of the chair. My palms are up. I'm just going to move my feet back and forth to loosen up the legs a little bit. Loosen up your lower body. And you know you've done something good for yourself. You should feel good. Exercise is also good for weight control, and I think you know that. Again, especially aerobic. But strength training is great too. Flexibility is important. So I'm just going to say bye for now, and we'll see you next time. And I think we're going to be doing strength training with bands next time. So bye-bye.